Hey, what's up? This is Jess Bysong. I wanted to talk a little bit today about a conversation that I keep having with other people who are working on their business. They're coming to me, we're talking, and they're saying, they're saying things like, I'm not really seeing the results I want. I'm working hard, but it's not, I'm not getting anywhere. But when I ask them, actually, how many hours are you putting in? How many hours are you putting into your business every week? I get very vague answers. I get, replies like, a few hours here and there. Well, it just depends on what's going on during my work week or what's going on with my family. Now, statements like that, replies like that, scream out to me, two things. One is, making excuses. It's just, there's no other way around it, Maybe excuses, that's a little harsh. These are legitimate reasons. They're reasons that have to do with family obligations. They're taking care of a loved one. Their family, the children are involved in a lot of other activities. I have to point out to them that it's great, it's great that they're very active in their families' lives. In their children and what's going on with their husband. And that is the number one priority. But then I also have to point out to them that there's so many successful people out there who have the same responsibilities as they do, the same family obligations. But the bottom line is that businesses cannot be built on just a few hours a day. A few hours here and there. And to some of them, that is a hard fact for them to swallow. But then, I tell them, not to despair. It's no worries. We're gonna find time for them to devote more to their business. So after sitting down with them, and mind you, I say some of them because even some people, when I suggest we sit down, have a meeting, take a look over what's going on, let's try to plan, organize your time better, they even make excuses that they can't even do that. So that's a whole other topic. So let's just focus on the people who actually do take the time. I do have an opportunity to sit down and look over what's going on in their lives. Almost in every instance, their lack of time is just having ineffective time management skills. And do you find that you fit this type? You're one of these people who are struggling to find enough time, not only to juggle life and family, but then on top of that, trying to find some additional hours? Well, no worries. There's so much you can do to free up some of your time. But first, before we go on to that, there's one aspect that's super important, and that is that you have to commit to a certain amount of hours per week. It has to be a minimum of 10. People can build a part-time business on 10 hours a week. It might take a little longer, but I have seen it done. So that's first and foremost, that has to be put in place. If you're looking to have a full-time income, then 10 hours isn't even going to cut it. So you have to get your priorities straight. But with that aside, once you do commit to a certain amount of hours, then we got to find out where we're going to be able to put these hours. So first, we need to make sure that you are keeping your monthly, weekly, and daily calendars updated. And you have to carry your planner around everywhere you go. It has to be your new best friend. Because life is, I like to look at life as it's always throwing you curveballs, right? And your planner is like the mitt that catches those curveballs. If you don't have it with you, you're going to miss them. So you made it a habit, to carry your planner around, to constantly keep it updated. So now I need to mention the "I'll do it later" phrase, because what's the use of having this planner, carrying around with you, making a habit of always having it, and then not following through with everything that's in it? The "I'll do it later" phrase, procrastination, it needs to leave your mind. It just needs to be gone. Okay? because the I'll do it later, if you think about it, if you got it, you can't do everything later. And what ultimately is going to happen is the later time that you have are the hours that you put aside to work on your business. So it's going to cut into your, it's going to cut into your business time. So that's exactly what we're trying to avoid. Now there's two other time wasters that I need to mention, because they suck so much time out of somebody's day that it's hard, it can't be unmentioned. And that is like excessive TV and computer activities. So now TV, notice I said excessive, okay? There's nothing wrong with watching TV. But if you're one of those people who come home after a hard day's work and they say, I'm only going to watch an hour, and here you find 1 hour goes by, and then, you want to watch another episode of Seinfeld or something, before you know it, 2 or 3 hours go by, you finally shut off the TV. If you're one of those people, and trust me, I used to be like that, I can totally relate. I would come home, I would go, I'd see my computer, I'd see work, and I'm like, I'm just going to watch 1 hour and relax. And it was very hard for me to stop watching TV. So I just eliminated it. I hardly ever watch TV. If I have a little bit of free time, I'd find myself much rather reading. But there are people who really enjoy it, enjoy watching TV. So I'm not saying cut it out totally if you have the ability to shut it off when you say you're going to shut it off. And then computer activities, this can be difficult when you're working on your business, actually. If you are somebody, I find that when somebody can get on the computer and it's like you get sucked into this time, cyber vortex, and you get lost in time and space. And what I do and I suggest is that you sit down, and before you even turn on the computer, before you even hit the power button, make a list of everything that you need to get done on the computer. Just task it out. It's like your planner for the computer, and just mark everything off. If you get done a little sooner and you want to surf the web, if you want to, relax a little bit, that's fine. But the computer's a tricky one, because you can get on it with one goal in mind, and an hour later it's possible not to even remember why you got on the computer in the first place. So that's extremely important to manage your time on the computer and watching TV, because it'll suck a lot of time out of your day. And on a final note, before I go, being a loving, nurturing, mother or father, being a friend that others can rely on, and also having a business that brings you prosperity is a direct result of the time that you have on this earth. So learn how to manage it accordingly. Take care.